Yes, we are live. So welcome everyone in another episode of umbraCoffee. Today I'm alone in terms of our duo because Callum is traveling to Leeds for Umbraco BBQ, but I'm joined with the Paul Seal from Moriyama and Culture Co UK. How are you, Paul?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm here for my fourth time now, I think.
Yeah, we've been talking yesterday with Callum, who is the most invited person from the Umbraco community, and you are comparing with Dave, but definitely you and Dave are the most recent. You have the biggest number of mentions during the umbraCoffee because you
All
are
right.
so busy and so active in terms of umbraco contributions that it's obviously the normal side effect of it. So how are you? How's your week? This beautiful summer time
Yeah,
week.
I'm a bit less hot than I was yesterday. A bit cooler today, which is good. But I've got my shorts on. But no lollies today, unfortunately,
No,
because it's
Lawless. Yeah,
not.
yeah, because obviously you are invited because of your great policy in Moriyama and yesterday's tweet from Mark Goodson.
Yeah,
Mark promised the free ice creams for umbraCoffee hosts, and Callum was discussing the terms and conditions of this transfer. But
yeah,
it was a very interesting. We all know that it's a really unusual period of time in England, and the weather is crazy recently. It's not so hot in Poland. We've had our summer time a couple weeks
yeah,
ago, and right now we are just normal 20 degrees or something like that. So and you've been sharing some recent information about working remotely and
yeah,
how it is bad when it comes to, for example, air condition, right?
yeah. I really miss the aircon. Where I last worked, it was freezing in the summer because the aircon was on so much.
Yeah.
So there's people in the building like with jumpers and hoodies on and things like that. But
I
I
was
preferred it like that.
I was even considering installation of air condition here in my house as well, because that's probably the biggest problem when it comes to working from home in this summer
I
time
like John
period.
Cito's idea of going to IKEA and just
Yeah, I
working in
was
there.
thinking because I've IKEA really close from here, and I need to give it a try and then
Yeah,
see how it works. I didn't think about it in the past, but yeah, we've mentioned barbecues and we've mentioned that Callum is on his road for the first barbecue this season. So let's maybe start from here because there's a really nice roadmap of Umbraco barbecues. It's starting today in Leeds. The next week is in Bristol, and the next one is in London. There, and we have a September series starting from Netherlands and Aarhus, ending in Aarhus. Is it a date in Aarhus? No, I don't know. I can see it.
uh,
Paul, do you plan to attend any of them?
I've not got plans to, but I would like to. I like barbecues and I like Umbraco, so it's a perfect combination for me. Maybe
Yeah.
if I don't know, I just can't see any dates that I know that I'll be in those areas, and don't think I'll be specifically travelling for a barbecue. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a good opportunity to not only attend the barbecue, right? As you've said, it's Umbraco barbecue, so Umbraco community will have the great opportunities to discuss Umbraco things next to the barbecues, which is awesome combination. And I know
Yeah,
that last year it was really cool. There are some companies supporting the initiative, and I know that in London it's on the rooftop of one of the company's offices. So that's a really cool opportunity to meet and chat and also eat a great food. So hopefully a lot of people came
yeah.
and will come and discuss those opportunities. And I see some people from Leeds today on our YouTube chat right now. So yeah, we are all jealous. Enjoy
Yeah,
and have
sounds
a
fab.
great
I
time.
hope they enjoy the big feast while we're hot.
Yeah, so
Um,
summer is not only about barbecues. There are some groups which are organizing meetups as well. I found that the next week the Edinburgh meetup is having a place on Wednesday. So yeah, it seems like a lot of people are not wasting time during the summer and trying to do something around knowledge sharing and also events, strictly events. I've seen also some other events. Ismail even yesterday shared some details about some .NET group in Manchester, and some great talks. I don't see too many opportunities to see something interesting in Poland recently. I don't know how's your feeling about it. How community is organized in your area?
I was at a meetup last night. Was hosted by Stephen Haunts. He's done quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
He's done quite a few series on Pluralsight, and that was really interesting. But he went for a second meetup. Like, I couldn't believe it was like 2 in 1, and I wasn't prepared for the second one, so I had to leave partway through. But that was all about cryptography and then Azure Key Vault. So that was good. I try and go to 1 or 2 a month locally, but there's nothing for Umbraco in the Midlands. So if anyone watching wants to start one, you'll have one attendee in me.
There were some plans. I can't remember who was planning.
Yeah, it was Andy Felton. He tried to set it up, and then he tweeted about it, and I was the only one who replied.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of legends about Midlands, so I don't know if it's related to all those legends, but still, yeah, we can use this opportunity to invite more people, because it's enough to have even 2 people to just spend some time together and discuss things about Umbraco in general. But what we are doing right now, in terms of biggest events, we are still preparing for the big festival series, which is starting after the summertime, and I've mentioned it last week. We are still collecting speakers' proposals for Umbraco Poland Festival, which is happening in October, and sometime after that, there is also a big Umbraco UK Festival, which is also collecting speakers' proposals. And I can't remember the exact schedule of those, but it will be open for voting, and community will vote for the specific topics which will be done.
DDD.
Yes. So and it will be a private voting, so we won't be able to specify exact speakers, but there will be about topics, which is awesome, and I can't wait to see all the ideas which will be coming into the festivals. And of course, Paul, are you planning to visit at least UK festival, I presume, right?
Yeah, I'd like to go to the UK one. I've been to the last 2 and I really enjoyed it. It's about a week after I get back from holiday. What I like best about it is the day before, the hackathon, and usually like a training session or something. I really enjoy that, engaging with everyone as well. So that's like the highlight of the UK festival for me, as well as the talks the next day. But that's the day I really look forward. I get a lot out of that day.
Yeah, and you've been also talking, right, on previous editions. Are you planning to submit any talk idea this year as well?
I don't know. If I can think of something that's technical and useful, then maybe. But I don't want to go anything that's about careers or anything like that anymore.
You can teach us a lot how to manage time efficiently and do more outside of the work.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe then use this opportunity to talk about your recent work and recent project, because I've seen that you are looking for some inspirations and inputs for your latest work around Umbraco Starter Kit for V8. Do you have anything to share more about? Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, let me just share this. Yeah, so I took the Start Bootstrap starter kit, which is called Clean Blog. And I just thought this is a nicely designed one, because I did a CodeShare starter kit that wasn't very nice design. I did it in Bootstrap Studio. I just thought I'll go with one that uses Bootstrap 4, get something working for Umbraco V8, so that it's a nice template and I'm not embarrassed to show it or anything like that. And then when I install it, or when other people install Umbraco, they could have a starter kit that is quite nice to use, and it's just a nice design, this one. I like this one.
I'm using it for my blog, and I knew it from the past, and it really caught the eye when I was searching for something which is open source, free, and clean as well.
Yeah, that's it. So that's the main thing. I'm keeping it really simple, and then what I might do is, because I'm going to do a new series about Umbraco V8, and what I might do is start with the starter kit, maybe show people how I built the starter kit. So that could be like the basics of it. And then as I go with V8, I might just do a new video series, or just a couple of videos on a certain topic, and just build on that from there. And so then at that point, people can install the starter kit and then do this topic or whatever. And that way, it's a way of me to learn as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. And what parts of Umbraco integrations do you have already applied here?
So this one, I'm using the dictionary. I've got so it's really nice using Umbraco V8 back office. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy it. Yeah, just I've not done too much that is like I've not done any. It's not multilingual, but I could probably try and it's just logged me out now. But I could probably try and get it to be multilingual
Mm-hmm.
and things
Yeah.
like that as an example. But I'm not sure if that's what people want to install on the starter kit. Maybe that could be on the README or something like that. But yeah, I've got the contact form, the search, blog posts, and things like that. And yeah, I might just release a really small version of it first of all, and then add little bits as people feedback and say, oh, it's missing this. But yeah, it's just to look nice really when you install Umbraco and enjoy editing it, and
Yeah, exactly.
hopefully people will use it.
That looks really, really nice. And maybe we can also share the link to your tweet where you were asking for some ideas from the
Yeah,
community, because I've already shared some of them, and maybe more people will share their ideas and needs. What they
yeah,
are expecting from starter kit to be like, because I remember a lot of discussions during the Code Garden and other events about starter kit in general. And I think that different people are looking for different things, right? Because I've mentioned some technical integrations,
yeah,
right, from the code perspective and the best practices. Editors will be definitely looking for some editorial improvements and editorial experiences within the back office itself, and also there's something in the middle, so the connection between
yeah.
content and code, which is also interesting for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I want this to be for new beginners to get the bug of Umbraco, to see it and like, oh, I really like it. I really like
Yeah.
Umbraco. So I don't want to go too far with changing what the back office does already. And I want a front end that you can, like when you get into dynamic programming and you like, when I first got into web development and ASP.NET, I was like, so I can change this and that updates dynamically. This is amazing,
Yeah.
So I want it to be a bit like that. So for people new to Umbraco, they can come in, they can change it and see how easy it is to have a site. And then they can, if they're interested then in developing it from then on, maybe they'll then go onto the forum. I'm going to put things like links to forums and resources
Mm-hmm.
like Script and everything all in the starter kit. And then there could be like articles and things. And then that will inform people of like the Facebook group or the Slack group and things, maybe, so they can learn from that. By installing a starter kit, they can read the articles on this kit and learn about some of these other places if they're interested in Umbraco from that point.
Yeah, sure. That's an awesome idea, and I think that, as I've said, that a lot of people are looking for different things, and they can expose those needs,
Yeah,
and it will help us and you to build something what will just be made for them, right?
yeah,
That's a great idea. And of course, other people are also busy releasing new stuff. And recently, what was really something different and amazing was to see Kevin's jumps using roadmap. I don't know if you've seen this roadmap
I saw the
and
tweet.
ideas. Yeah, it's basically it's a blog post about the plans for future of using, and there are some really cool ideas which are something what a lot of people are also looking for. More integration, about bigger integration of using snapshots for building the packages of using definitions files, which can be applied in between of different images of or states of the project or the website or the Umbraco installation in general. Using exporter, which can be used to synchronize the packs between different environments, and some other plans such as people edition of using publisher, which is kind of maybe an evolution of using being tailored to fetch a similar approach as it's delivered by Umbraco deploy and Umbraco cloud integration. So you can publish things between environments, between Umbraco sites from various locations, which is something what was really interesting when it comes to Umbraco cloud development, and some other things like auditing and plans. So yeah, there is an idea of having some of those packages as a paid extensions for using,
Yeah,
and it's amazing to see that it's coming, because if we will have more alternatives, it's always good for other also package creators and other developers and agencies to be able to use different tools. And we are heavily using already.
Yeah, it's a must-have, isn't it?
For our development and deployment practices. So having ability to use some of those will be something definitely helpful for us, for all the outside of cloud projects. And I know that Umbraco is also planning to release Umbraco Deploy on premise.
Right.
It was under tests in some of the gold partners, from what I know, and we will have two at least tools to do the work, and we will be able to choose.
I wonder if everyone who's watching uses usync, and probably most people do. And then I wonder, of those that do, how many actually did the goodwill license? Because if you didn't, maybe you should.
Yes, I remember your tweet that you've been applying this goodwill license, and so we can definitely use this space to ask you people to help Kevin maintain and evolve those packages, and not only wait for the paid versions of extensions, but support it right now. And as a great YouTubers, we can ask to let us know if you are using using. Just click here in the like button and leave a comment that you are using using, because it will be a measurement for us at least. That's very cool. And also Dave released a new version of embed package, which is also ready to support Umbraco v8.1. Let me just share my screen. It's really interesting it was really interesting to see that, because we were building our custom embed provider recently for RTE and some other extension points, and just in the day when we finished, really Dave said, okay, we have something done here as well. And of course, they've released this version for 8.1. And there were some other releases this week as well. Callum released a new version for super value converters, which is also extended to support V8. And from our internal chats, there were some bits which were changed in 8.1, and Callum hopefully fixed all of them. So it's also ready. And Anders released a new version of Skybrad's redirects package, which also is a new stable release for Umbraco 7. And last week we were mentioning release for Umbraco V8. So right now we have the next stable version for V7. And today Dan shared a blog post, and today or yesterday, I can't remember, about the new version of Diplo God mode. Paul, did you use the God mode in any of the projects?
It's really useful when you're doing upgrades and things like that. And it's really useful to have in your armory. So I think that's another one. I don't know if Dan's got a goodwill license on that, but definitely this is another must-have. So if it's coming into V8, then that's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, and he even released a video showing the possibilities of the package, because maybe not everyone knew what are the features and the powers of this God mode in Umbraco. And it was for me, it was very useful when I was scanning through some of the projects or solutions which were not built by me in general, and I was able to discover what's inside, how it's built, how's the general health of this solution. So it's not only for resetting password in admin access. So that's a good package, and it's amazing to see it's being ready for V8. And also Shannon released a new version of new subversion of IOC package for our Umbraco. Right now it's supporting also the Unity container for IOC, which is something what a lot of people were using and were looking forward to for this official package. And that's not about package, but also in general in Umbraco contributions. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
I don't know if it's already after the 30,000.
We'll have to see.
It's a great, amazing, big number of commits.
Oh yeah, it's blown past
so wow, that's great. So project is growing. A lot of people is helping to grow it faster even than it was in the past, and it's great to see that. And having this in mind, we can all right now jump to the next release, which is planned for next Tuesday. And finally, we will see the 7.15.1 with the security patch applied, which was exposed a couple weeks back, and some of the other issues and tasks fixed after releasing a big minor version of Umbraco, which was 7.15.
There was a media issue, wasn't there?
Yes, the media issue with folders. And yeah, I already applied the SQL script patch and workaround. But of course, it's not the best way of fixing issue, and it's great to see that this version will be fixing.
I've got an issue. Do you want a live issue raised on UmbraCoffee?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And it's probably already been raised, but I'll just share it. So while I was working on the package, can you see, if we zoom in a bit, can you see the rich text editor?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got 3 columns there. If I make sure that I'm not zoomed, it overlaps. It doesn't wrap anymore. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe someone's watching that knows how to fix that. Probably Nathan will have fixed it by the time I finish saying it, or Ken.
Yeah. We should maybe use Azure Logic Apps to translate our video recording into a GitHub issue.
Yeah. But yeah, if it's not already on the issue log, I'll raise it and put it on the issue log. But that's only from playing about and doing this starter kit that I've noticed it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you at some point if you've experienced any of the issues or blockers, because we've been also chatting a lot about V8 in general. What's stopping people to move to V8? But I presume you haven't seen anything blocking or major, right?
So the main thing for me with V8 was waiting for 8.1 and the changes to the APIs, and so then once that had happened, then I was ready to start creating new sites, personally in it, and playing about, create and go with my packages again and update them all again.
Yeah, that was probably also the most popular answer when it come to this poll shared by someone. Probably it was Rasmus, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So that's cool. That's great to see a lot of other ways of contributing, and maybe that's also a nice segue to some of the final bits of my notes, at least for this week. Because in this week we also had some blog posts being released. The first one was about the ways of contribution to Umbraco, and Ilham wrote a great blog about how community and Umbraco in general grew recently, how many contributors are there in terms of comparison to Umbraco HQ employees, for example, in general supporters, meetup organizers, festival organizers, and how it all get more structured over the last months and years as well. And what are the other ways of contributing to Umbraco projects, and not only Umbraco in general. And that's a great blog post. I don't know if you've seen that.
I saw it tweeted, but I haven't had the time to read it yet.
Yeah, and speaking unofficially, we have a great opportunity to maybe expand this topic for the next week or weeks in umbraCoffee. So keep fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll be able to chat more about community and open source in general, in maybe seeing it from outside of Umbraco world. Which is great. But yeah, I highly encourage everyone to read this blog. And the other one was about, it was a tweet from Umbraco HQ about new dates of trainings. And when I saw this list of trainings, it looks already amazing. And there are some plans to have trainings scheduled to the almost the end of the year. And we have dates even in 2020, which is great. So if you are looking for trainings, just check it out. And speaking about contributions, I don't know also if you've seen it, Paul, and everyone else is following the RFCs being discussed, but it's getting to be closed, this one at least, soon, because it has a lot of great ideas, and basically the RFC process is going to an end, because there is a clean and very good structure of the task, which now is converted to a job item for the Umbraco HQ and the whole team. So that's
I read
amazing.
that one. I read Lee kept coming back with more good ideas on that. Well, quite a few people were, but I kept seeing. I think I noticed Lee kept adding extra bits on there that Shannon was Oh, actually, that's a really good idea. Yeah, let's do that as well.
Yeah, I think that we all can use this RFC and the whole pull request as a good example of contributions, because there were some inputs probably started during the Code Garden or retreat, then some inputs after the Code Garden, some comments. Then Lee jumped into the topic and shared some experiences from his work. Then Shannon replied, great conversation and great ideas being converted into work items, as I've said.
Yeah, it went
So
on a lot longer than I thought. I thought it would just be a couple of weeks, or that was the impression I was given at Code Garden. But is it about 2 months now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but also there are some other RFCs waiting for people's comments. So I believe that more of us as the community members will have time and ideas to share across those RFCs. And also there were some discussions on our, I don't have link right now, but probably Pete Duncanson started the whole discussion about RFCs in general, how they are processing. And I know that Shannon already updated some of the definitions of RFCs as well here in the GitHub repository. So yeah, in general, the process is ongoing and it has some really cool outputs. So we are looking for more. And Lee, also the last link is coming from Lee, because naming things is hard. I don't know if you've seen that. Lee was looking for a good name for this speaker and this.
I like Nathan's reply.
Nathan, yeah. Thick cross pop-up trigger boxes in gray, yeah. But speaking about it, I saw some really nice links. Probably who was it? Was Anders. If I remember correctly, who shared the Google the documentation about cards and names of the properties like that, and general UI components like that, which are.
Was it tiles? Did he call it? I think.
No, it was cards, if I remember.
Cards, yeah.
Cards, yeah. I can't find it right now, but it was the link is somewhere here, and it was really well described why Google is naming it as cards, why those are cards and stuff like that. And from what I've seen, Lee is going to pick cards, but still, if anyone has any naming challenges, feel free to share them. I really like to see how people are approaching it. And I've also seen Anthony's tweets and discussion about naming Azure resources. And then I've also seen some links flying around about best practices, documentation, and Azure guidelines in general. So it's not so hard as it seems from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
Do you also fight a lot with naming things in general in your work?
Yeah, I always struggle to name things, definitely. Was it naming things and off by one errors? There's just two things. There's three problems in programming: naming things and off by one errors. That's it.
And cache invalidation. That's the first step, which is also challenging. I will add to that naming umbraCoffee episodes, because it's always hard as well.
Yeah.
But that's probably all from this amazing week in Umbraco community. And do you have anything else to add, maybe to those lists?
No. Oh, I did the blog post about the dynamic headers generation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was just for a personal project that I did, and it was an interesting thing to solve. You know, when you're sharing on Twitter and Facebook, you don't want to have to create an image every time. But if the content's different, you can use the images from the content to create a new image. Then that was the point of that one. Yeah, but I've already had some feedback to improve it.
Yeah, so. I've seen some feedback and responses to this blog post, and people were suggesting some of even more optimized approaches, right? And
yeah, so I'm going to revisit it.
Yeah, that's always great to be able to even improve your own approach and see how other people are doing the same stuff, right?
Yeah, when I share something, I usually get feedback, and then I learn even more. So that's why I share it.
Yeah, that's also why we are all doing open source work.
Yeah.
not only to criticize our work, but also to help ourselves getting better and better every time.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a good wrap up, I think. We can all get back to eating ice creams, lollies, and things like that.
Got my fab.
So yeah, thank you very much, Paul, for joining me, and we can only wish everyone who is attending today's Leeds barbecue to have a great time, and for everyone else, have a great rest of the day and weekend, and we can see each other next Friday. Thank you, Paul,
Yeah.
once again.
See you next week.
Yeah,
Cheers.
see ya. Cheers.
Bye.